Come with me as I travel on a 14-hour flight from San Francisco to Manila on board United Polaris in a Boeing 777-300ER aircraft to find out if United Airlines' strategy is gaining the heart of the Filipino. Hey, what's up everybody? If you're new here, hi, my name is Paulo Almacen. I'm a Filipino cook and food enthusiast, and in this channel, I share recipes that brings me joy, and I also talk about restaurants or experiences that touch my soul. On October 29, 2023, United made history as the only US airline to fly directly to Manila from the continental US. And a year later, on October 27, 2024, United became the only US carrier to fly to Cebu with daily flights on board 737 aircrafts from Tokyo Narita, which enables easy one-step connections from US customers from its hub in the continental US. And in this video, we're gonna explore how and if their strategy is indeed gaining the heart of the Filipino. You see what I did there? I'm gonna preface this review by saying that I have never experienced Philippine Airlines business class product on a trans-Pacific flight from the Philippines to the continental US. So this review is not going to be a comparison between the two airlines. Rather, this review is about what United is intentionally doing to gain the Filipino market and solidify their reach and presence in Asia. And because I travel a lot for work, I was able to reach Premier 1K in 2024. With an additional 30,000 points, I was able to upgrade my premium economy seat to United's business class product called United Polaris. And so, let's dive into this video. Welcome to seat 12G. United's business class product has a staggered arrangement of seats in the cabin, where even numbered rows face the aisle. My seat is one of the seats that face the aisle. I actually was the last person to be upgraded in this flight, and this was the only seat that was available. And because I was only upgraded when I reached the gate, I didn't get the chance to experience the Polaris lounge. I had the opportunity to experience that lounge at Houston IAH several times, and it is one of the best lounges that I've ever been in. And they also serve one of the best cocktails that I've ever had, which is called the United Polaris Star, or the paper plane drink. It's made with gin, ginger honey syrup, lemon juice, and club soda. So if you ever find yourself in that lounge, make sure to try that for me. As I reached my seat, I was welcomed with 2 pillows and 2 blankets from Saks Fifth Avenue. I also got a menu, a bottle of water, a piece of noise-canceling headphones, and the Therabody amenity kit, which we will open later. And here's my seat. One of the things I love about this cabin is how comfortable this seat is. In one of Non-Stop Dan's videos, he even said that the seat is more comfortable than the Q suites. The small memory foam pillow is also amazing, although I wish it was bigger. And the large pillow is also fluffy, that it actually feels like the one I use at home. And because it's never too late or too early to dine, as soon as I got situated, I opened the menu. And to my surprise, the menu is written both in English and in Tagalog, which honestly surprised me. At this point, the purser or the chief flight attendant made her way to my seat and personally introduced herself to me. She looked at her list, and because she didn't have my name, she asked how I would like to be addressed. And I know what you're thinking. You might say this is a very small detail, but for a minute, I was honestly confused because this is something that you only see happen in first-class cabins or in 5-star airlines like Eva Air, Singapore, or Qatar Airways. Did I mention she's Filipino? Yeah, that made me proud. Also, a big shout out to Jeffrey from Mississippi who took care of me in this flight. He was also really good. He introduced himself while he was bringing my welcome champagne to kick off the service on the ground. Okay, so before we proceed, I want you to listen to this audio clip from one of the announcements in the ground.
On this flight, we have Miguel and Amor. They will be able to translate Tagalog into this flight. We have also flight attendants fluent in Cebuano and Hiligaynon.
They specifically said that half of the crew can speak Tagalog and some of them can even speak Cebuano or Hiligaynon. Throughout the flight, even the fasten your seatbelt sign announcement were announced both in English and in Tagalog. Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the service interruption. Captain has to sit down, so please protect your seats and make certain that your seatbelt are securely fastened as well. Thank you.
Servisyo namin, kailangan po mo ng mga flight attendants dahil sa hindi magandang panahon.
This is something that I wanted to point out even before the plane took off, because at this point, I really felt like I was home. I'm sure a lot of Filipino Americans can relate to this. But do you know that feeling when you haven't been home for a very long time and you're at that point in your journey where you're one flight away from being home and you're so excited that you notice even the small details that make you even more excited? This is what this flight did to me. At this point, I knew United knew exactly what they were doing. And before we know it, it's time to take off. Here's what the cabin looks like when the lights are dimmed. I do love the blue hue and the overall mood of the aircraft, but I do wish that there are stars in the roof, just like what you see on EVA Air. After all, the business class product is named after a star. I just feel like it would have added a more cozy and luxurious touch to the cabin. Okay, let's open the Therabody amenity kit. Okay, I gotta be honest, I really don't like the feel of this kit. I don't think I'm gonna be using this bag in the future. For reference though, here's what the previous amenity kit looks like. It's from away, and you can just see that from the shell itself, it really is premium. Although, don't judge a book by its cover because inside the Therabody amenity kit are actually stuff that are useful. You'll find a dental kit, some socks, eye mask, earplugs, a small pen, soft tissues, and the Arrive Revived packet. And honestly, the level of hate that I have in this bag is neutralized by how much I enjoyed what's inside this packet. Here you have a lip balm, a hydrating mist, hand cream, eye serum, and a cleansing towelette. Truly stuff that would help you arrive revived. Jeffrey came back with my first hot towel in this flight, which signals the start of the dinner service. At this point, I asked him if I can request for pajamas, as I know that it is something that you have to request and is not automatically given to all passengers. He said that he'll look and later came back and told me that he couldn't find extra pajamas. But an hour later, I saw that one passenger was given a pair of pajamas in premium economy. So I think either he really couldn't find one or he didn't look. United, if you're watching this, I still want my pajamas, okay? The champagne in today's flight is a Heidsieck monopole blue top, which honestly, it's okay. You know, it hits the spot. It retails for about $45 a bottle in the US. I was served a small bowl of warm assorted nuts with it, and I love that the nuts are warmed. But every time I try this, even with my previous flights with United within the US, I do feel that they aren't as crunchy as I'd like them. But maybe it has something to do with how they heat the nuts in the flight, which makes them a little bit soggy. Not too much though, just a little bit. I still finish the whole bowl every time. For the appetizer, I got some garlic bread with butter, some salad, and some lemon zest prawn confit. I was honestly pleased with this. The garlic bread was hot and tasty, and the salad was a solid 8.5 out of 10. The greens were also fresh, and I really liked the balsamic vinegar that came with it. The shrimp were large, and most importantly, they were fresh. The tray even came with this very cool salt and pepper containers in the shape of a globe. I really enjoyed it. Then came the main course. I ordered the seared beef tenderloin with blanched bok choy, roasted potato wedges with ginger, lemon, and onion sauce. This looks really promising and appetizing, so I was very excited to eat this. When I tried the potatoes and the bok choy, they were perfect. The bok choy still had a crunch to it, and the potatoes were well seasoned. They were soft, but they weren't mushy at all. But the beef, guys, the beef was tough. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the cut of the beef. But it was really, really dry. This was honestly what I didn't enjoy the most. When the menu was presented to me earlier in this flight, one of the options were adobo-style tofu. And while I was eating this, I thought about how much I wished I just ordered the tofu instead. But my thought process was, okay, it's gonna be a long flight and I don't wanna be hungry. And I felt like I wouldn't be full if I ordered tofu. But man, was I wrong. I couldn't even finish this. So while waiting for dessert, let's talk about the entertainment system. This is truly one of United's strongest suits. There's something for everyone. The problem really isn't about if there's something you can watch or not. The question really is, which one will you choose to watch? Moving on to everyone's favorite part of the meal service, the dessert. They have a selection of assorted cheese plate, a triple chocolate cheesecake, and the one that I'm excited to eat the most, which is their ice cream sundae. The crew made their way to the aisle with an ice cream cart where they offer Tilamok vanilla bean ice cream, and they have an assortment of your favorite toppings. They have fudge or caramel, nuts, whipped cream or cherry, name it, they have it. And this was honestly one of the highlights of my flight. The ice cream was just perfect. And at this point, I already forgave them for my tough beef. You guys, I really inhaled this ice cream to the last drop. And because this flight was during the holidays, they even have an option for a peppermint bark and soft mini marshmallow toppings, just as an extra touch. The ice cream is not only served on trans-Pacific flights, but if we're gonna compare it to Philippine Airlines, this is definitely their answer to the famous Halo Halo. And that's the end of the dinner service. Moving on, the restroom was decent with hand cream and hydrating mist from Therabody, as well as some crease release spray if you're going straight to business after landing. But otherwise, the restroom was typical. Now that my belly is stuffed, it's time to get some sleep. 5 hours later, I woke up and definitely took the opportunity to grab some stuff from the galley. They have a selection of fruits, chips, sandwiches, cookies, gummy bears, kimchi-flavored instant noodles, and a whole lot of other stuff. But don't worry guys, I hoarded so that I can share my opinion on this video. I got myself some black coffee, Coke Zero, and the other two dessert options at the dinner service, which were the cheese and crackers and the triple chocolate cheesecake. The cheese and cracker selections were mid, I'd say 6 out of 10, but the grapes were fresh though. But you guys, the triple chocolate cheesecake was honestly 10 out of 10 for me. It was a solid alternative to the sundae. If you ever find yourself being in one of these flights and you weren't up for a sundae, this cheesecake is honestly the second best thing. Then I found myself watching the Carry On movie on Netflix, and I got so invested watching it that I had to grab another snack, which was really me looking for another reason to eat the kimchi flavored noodles. And guys, it hit the spot. I don't know what it is. It's probably the MSG, but this one was so good, I'll give it a 12 out of 10 if I can. Then, as soon as I finished the movie, the lights were on. I was served another warm towel, and it was finally time to eat breakfast again. For breakfast, the choice they were giving was an option of omelette and bread pudding. And by bread pudding, they actually meant the bibingka coconut cake with ubi butter. I get why they were announcing the choice as a bread pudding, but I wish that they specifically said bibingka coconut cake with ubi butter and proceeded with describing it as similar to a bread pudding. This was in no way a traditional bibingka, but it was hot and moist, and they didn't shy away from the ubi flavor, which I really appreciated. If we're just talking about the main courses, I actually preferred this breakfast than my main course and dinner. The orange juice was freshly squeezed and the butter was shaped like a rose, which I honestly really liked. The bread was okay, but it was hot and it really went well with a strawberry jam. The fruits, just like in the dinner service, were really fresh. I really enjoyed this breakfast and it was a great meal to end before landing in Manila. In this flight, I was also flying with my siblings, my brother-in-law, and my niece and nephews. and they were seated in premium economy. My niece has a lot of allergies, and so my siblings wanted me to make sure to point out that the flight attendants were very accommodating to the kids, and they even wrapped up a fruit plate and microwaved the chicken and rice for the kids, since they couldn't eat the meal, to make sure they aren't hungry. They also advised them to make sure to order a special meal for the flight back to the US. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the breakfast service. And I wanted to end my review by saying that I have been looking at a lot of reviews from United service online and how a lot of people find the service inconsistent. And although I don't think that this is perfect, I know that from the last time I flew United Polaris Trans-Pacific way back in 2021 compared to now, there has been a major shift, and that they are committed in improving the service on board. And even though I didn't choose this particular seat, I still find it private and cozy. From the Tagalog announcements, the Filipino menu, the Filipino food offerings, and the warm hospitality, I knew that United was intentional in their strategy to gain the heart of the Filipino. And in my personal opinion, it worked. Alright, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like more reviews just like this, you can find more of them right here. Until next time, I'll see you soon, and thanks for watching. Bye!